So my desk for the what do you have to say regarding the things you can do with GIS? You have done your own already.
You can use it for waste management.
Very good. Yes.
Now you can see that. So
yes.
that's one thing that the world is really facing.
Yes.
We are talking about conservation, and some people are telling us
that waste management will lead to different things.
Yeah.
In fact, particularly in Nigeria, that is what we want to see.
Some people are telling us we should travel to Mars. Research has shown that it takes 3 years to travel to Mars, and it's not possible to stay in a shuttle for 3 years without moving your body. So which really also is that we need to conserve our environment. So which GIS is applicable to waste management.
Yes. Very good, very good. I really appreciate every one of us for contributing. I want us to make sure that this lecture, this master class is something worthwhile. So the next thing we're looking at is displaying of our data, displaying of this information, all these things we've been talking about, displaying them properly on the map, displaying them as a chart, displaying them in different form. There's this COVID-19 app we did when the COVID started. It was this COVID period really shows a lot of geospatial advantage. Geospatial technology. I don't know if all of us have been following. You'll be seeing a lot of people doing maps, a lot of people trying to track, a lot of people trying to monitor, a lot of people trying to bring out the advantage of this tool. So now there's some time you'll be mapping. You might need to display it in form of charts to better understand the map properly. There are sometimes even in the map you'll be seeing charts as a symbol representing a location. So this is why we are actually here. We need to understand why and how you need to properly display your map. So that's very, very important. So like I said before, you can display your map in form of graphs. So and also outputs. You can output it as a paper map, internet, as a document MXD format, that's the whole file itself, or an image. So all these things will be getting into them as well. Proceeding and organizing spatial data is very, very important. Organizing spatial data. At times whereby you want to display your map, you notice that this map that was displayed here, the points was first overlaid before the polygon. So points comes above, then line comes next, then polygon comes next. Do you understand? So if you are going to be arranging your map here, maybe this point now is ozone orange county, sorry. This ozone layer will come first on this table of contents. You understand? The ozone layer, this is a data. You get this is a data, this is a special data. So the next one probably is the area or maybe the local governments of that place, or maybe the existing place that is being infected will be coming next as a polygon. So the way you arrange your map matters a lot. So if you put polygon above points, you will not be able to see the points again. You understand? So arranging your map, especially that is for vector. Now coming into raster is very, very important. In most cases, you can be overlaying vector and raster. Which one will come first? Depending on the map too, vector will come first. Then you can now put transparency with your vector map to show the raster in it. Do you understand? So displaying your map is very, very important. At times you might want to, you get a drone image of an area. You now want to pick detail, you want to digitize, you want to delineate that image to get other attributes, vector data, sorry. So when you digitize your image, the vector will be on top of the image. It can be as a polygon to represent the area size and also showing the image at the background. So displaying your map is for different purposes, but it's very, very important you know how to properly display your map. Very, very important. But note that points will come first, line will come second, polygon will come next, then possibly images. That's what. Alright, so
Comment again about vector. You said we're talking about vector and raster context.
It depends on the map, the purpose of the map. At times, one might come before the other, but in a normal, vector comes, then raster comes next. Yes. So, okay, now representing features and spatial. Alright? So we've talked about this before, just to recap what we talked about. You get an image like this that looks like the satellite image, alright? It can be a drone image, it can be a satellite, it can be a topographic image. I just showed you ground elevations and stuff like that. So you now want to get information from this. There's some information here depending on the scale of the map. Now, like we said earlier, that's going to represent points. Now, these ones are health centers. You can't easily see the health center here. That's why they're represented as point. Probably the person that wants to do this project got the coordinates of this health center. You get? So now the streets like this will be represented as lines, polylines. And the area size in terms of land cover, you can see this place that has green can be as a green vegetation and represented as polygons. So you understand? So all this information matters a lot, the way you arrange them and the way you represent them or display them on the map. So, does anybody have any question before we proceed further? These ones are just basic things we must know before we proceed into the practical aspect. So now, we talked about skills. I know most have done this sometimes in secondary schools and stuff like that. Scale matters a lot. Scale. So you remember when I explained, remember when I explained that if you are going to be having this is a small scale map, this is a large scale map. If you are going to be mapping the whole world like this, you see that if you want to locate the capital of Nigeria now, it will be represented as points. Thank you. Represented as points. So now, if you are mapping Nigeria alone and you want to represent Abuja, it will be represented as polygon. Do you understand that? Depending on the scale at which you want to. So these are requirements you must get from your clients or for someone that wants to do the project that you need to do for the person. So now map scale continues. We understand about large scale. This is large scale. So this is a buffer of this small area that has been zoomed to this. So this is a large scale. This is a small scale. So we continue. So sometimes when you see something like this, one ratio, this it means that 1 centimeter on the paper is represented as 1 million centimeter on the ground. You understand that? 1 centimeter on the paper. That means if you are going to be measuring this place with a ruler on the ground, you want to get the length of this ruler. If you measure this place as 30 centimeters, that means it will be 30 million centimeters on the true ground surface. So that helps you to interpret the ground properly.
You're saying centimeters now. You know, conventionally, it's millimeter.
Yes.
Like you're making a AutoCAD drawing.
Yes.
Millimeter. So is it centimeter here?
Yeah.
Or millimeter?
Now, thank you for that. Sometimes you might see 1 ratio this. You need to understand if it is in centimeters or if it is in meters. Come again, you said?
The unit is
usually
yes.
You figure there and then the unit comes out as an indication.
Yes.
It's in millimeters or whatever.
So the person that is going to be doing the map, if he just leaves it like this, it means your work is not done. You need to indicate it in front of the map, be it in KM or the units particularly you're going to represent. So I think that has answered your question, sir.
When making maps
Has that answered your question?
Yes.
when making maps and the issue of scaling can be kind of very tricky, like when making maps. But there's this just little line that you know that is smaller the scaling like that. So when I'm able to understand this, I just solve the issue of scaling. I don't let it give me any education.
Yeah, I think if the person knows that there is a constant, like if you have this thing, scale of 100,000 centimeter. The person should know that 100,000 centimeter with his ruler is already 1 kilometer. It's a constant. So if the person knows that, I believe that should help the person to be able to manage his scale and also to produce.
Why do we use a scale?
Because the drawing environment cannot contain what's
We cannot put the whole of this work and connect on our paper. That's why we have to find a way to reduce it so that we can have like a form of abstraction of reality.
Yes, so I think we get that clearly. Sometimes you want to use a drone to map your farmland or 10 hectares, 10,000 hectares. So there's one we did recently. We just get the area, we try as much as possible to represent them on a paper that will make it visible. So at times, the purpose of what you are doing matters a lot, like I said earlier. We were trying to map out about 6 hectares, so we had to get a bigger size. Despite the fact we are trying to make it small on the paper, we need to get a bigger size like A3, A2, yes, to make sure you see it clearly. So imagine you are trying to map places like it's about 10,000 hectares, and the person says we want to do inspection on his land. So you need to know how to clearly export your map. Is it in A3, A0, or you give it in different plots? Each unit, yes. So, map continues. Okay, now the components of geographic data. This we're talking about geometry, attributes, behaviors. So, as we are proceeding in the aspect of the practicals that we're going to be doing, we need to understand this information. Now, to start with attributes. Attributes are just information. They're like metadata, information that talks about a particular data. Okay, so imagine this is let's say this is Wuse roundabout. So this information here, the road leading to this place, this line alone will be represented somewhere here. Alright? So this line that is here has been selected here. The information of that line, the name of the street, is it a one-way or is it a two-way road? Is it one-way road or two-way? How do you remind me of the single lane? Single lane, yes. Double lane, or is it an overhead bridge? Or is it at times you really also want to simplify it to, is it a street, is it a close, or is it all this kind of, so those information are the behavior, the rules. Where you talk about the one lane or two lane, two carrier road. Yeah. So if you're not going to be doing something like road network analysis, those information will help you to do the analysis properly. Imagine you want to, that's what Google actually used now. We were trying to, we sold some data to some company recently. That was about the road network for Nigeria, the recent road network. So they were trying to, every Uber and Taxify, they pay to Google for using their base map. So they want to create their own app using their own data to be able to play around with it. So if we are coming from this side, we are trying to go to their big garage now. Because you are facing this side, you don't need to okay, sorry. Let me put it like this. Imagine there's a two-carrier road now. There's a U-junction. U-turn, yes, U-turn. You're trying to turn from that place to go to the other side. But because the road that you've already detailed out on the attributes says that this side that you are, you will need to go and turn. Is a one lane like this that goes straight like this. So the data or the road network does not get confused telling you to go and turn like this. It just tell you to go like this, depending on where you are starting from, where you are standing from. So it is easy for Google to be able to understand. Is it that sometimes you see Google say you should go and turn around before you get to your destination? If you're on the other side of the road, it will just tell you to go straight like that. So those information you've already detailed as, you can simplify them as maybe A, B, A, B. You understand? The way you now detail them in your attributes when doing your analysis, it will help you to understand how to perform that analysis clearly. Do you understand? So now those information for the data are simply called attributes. So these attributes can carry name, it can carry road type. Is it a street? Is it a main road? Is it a primary, secondary, something like that? These same attributes can carry details of that road, the condition of that road. So if you are doing road network analysis, so far that you have the same road of the same length doesn't mean that you will get to the same destination the same time. One road might be bad, the other one might be good. Traveling along the same road will differ in time. Do we understand that? Because this road, probably the condition of this road is poor, there will be galloping and it won't be smooth for driving. Since this road is hard, it will be smooth for driving and it will get to the destination faster. So all these conditions too matters a lot when you are detailing it in the attributes. And also, you might want to give it another details of the elevation. Okay, that one is for fun, sorry. You want to give it information about the elevation. And also you want to give it the road name, stuff like that. So the more attributes you get, the more information you're able to play around with the behavior and rules. Do you understand that? Yes. Yes.
Information like that, and also on how fast one can travel on that.
Yes, yes, yes. Very good. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's a very good idea. That means the road will be is busy, a busy road, and it will affect the traveling time. For some of us that are into medicals, you see GIS especially is very, very important. Especially in this COVID-19, GIS brought out its necessity in terms of health sector. You are able to know where is having more disease outbreak and stuff like that. You can do mitigation measures, a lot of things like that. Disasters outbreak. Then, for example, in this place like Abuja, government will say, okay, because we say it's popular, because area one is most common, let's put like 20 hospitals there, let's put 10 hospitals there. No, you need to do analysis to better aid your decisions or suggestions or something like this. So you see where it's red most, it shows that this place has high intensity rates of disease. You understand? So definitely this place is supposed to have more hospitals compared to these areas where there are more connection of roads. Do you understand that? So in the aspect of agriculture, sorry about the so agriculture in terms of precision farming and all of that, use GIS to better lead your farm crop. Your aim, or let me say your goal for that your farm is to help you in terms of cost, in terms of productivity, in terms of the growth of your plants, of your crops, sorry. So for example now you get remote sensing data like drone images, NDVI attributes. You're able to know with the chlorophyll, you're able to know which type of crops in these areas are healthy or not healthy. The intensity of how bad the crop is determines the volume of manure or fertilizer you will put on that crop. So with that, you can be able to measure at what rate should I be buying manure per month or per year. So you don't just waste money excessively. And it helps you to be able to manage your crops. Now they are putting GIS into tractors. Tractors are able to understand the location of how they should place crop per plot. You understand all these things? They are putting information into drones these days for spraying. You know which place in the farm needs more spraying of water compared to the other ones. So with this, you are working with information. You are working with GIS information. So I think in terms of transportation, we've talked a lot about transportation today. So transportation also has its own benefits. Transportation especially has its own benefits. For some of us that are working into some companies like logistics and school like that, Coca-Cola and stuff like that, in a year they might be passing a particular route to go and deliver goods. But that road can have more better routes to your destination, especially whereby you have customers around. If you have customers like these delivery people now, you have customers scattered around you. You should know that your route will be within this area, not going back and going back here again to deliver because maybe the person is not, you don't know the location or something. If you know the location of each of your customers or each of your clients that you are supposed to deliver goods to, it will help you to plan properly on the routes to take. And planning like this, sometimes you might look at the cost maybe in a week is not much, it's not just a buffer, but if you calculate it in a year, you see the amount of money that company has lost just on transportation. So there are a lot of things like that in terms of customers, stuff like that. So Geoinfotech was established in 2006 by Mr. Mackinley founder. And also one of our major core services that include GIS, fully GIS, mobile apps and web apps, desktop apps. Also, we do drone operation mapping and surveying, remote sensing, web application and development, and also training and freelancing. And as we are proceeding further into the aspect of data sales, we give out data as large as possible. And we also sell some data that can help you to further do analysis. It's a very cost efficient way. And also we do drone sales and stuff like that also. So some of the trainings we've conducted so far in Abuja, we had to streamline them for National Boundary Commission. I think some of us know National Boundary Commission. So some of our stars also, Makinde, Jambawada, they we might not miss most of them, but we just have to project them for us to see. So because of no much stuff, let's just want to give you an overview of Geoinfotech, what Geoinfotech is all about. I know this is something we try to give back, so it just let people be able to understand the usefulness of GIS and see how it's very important, especially in Nigeria. Nigeria has a lot of problems that GIS is supposed to be involved in lots of problems. So, do we have any questions before we call it a day?